Okay, another revelation from Spirit at 1:45 a.m. on Saturday, March 2nd. So, years ago, after my divine masculine did what he did, hurt my feelings, broke my heart, walked away, came back towards me, begging me to be his friend again, confiding in me about his life and all that was happening, what was going on, how miserable and happy he was. And so one day, he was actually, we became good friends. We were buddies, really. We went to museums together. We went, hanging out, shopping, movies, the village, cool. Talk to each other, not all the time, but whenever we did, it was just like picking up from wherever we left off. I do remember one time he was here at my home, and I have a fireplace, a working fireplace in the house, and we had set the fireplace up, and we were watching the movie and having a drink, sitting on the couch. And I just remember him asking me questions about my son's father. At this point, my son might have been about 3, 4, 5. And his father and I weren't together. But I don't talk about, my exes with my exes. I don't like get into that, right off the bat and stuff. My business is my business, and, I'm not asking you about yours. Don't ask me about mine. That's just how I am. Because I've seen how that, makes no sense. Why am I going to complain about someone and still end up being with them or anything like that? So that's part of the reason why I've learned to be quiet about things that I normally wouldn't advise people to be quiet about. But it's just odd. It's really odd. But it's a defense mechanism, I'm sure, of some type. But anyhow. So he's sitting there, and we were drinking. It could have even have been like, it was like maybe some Obama Hennessy or something. It was like real, like special. It was an occasion. So we were chilling, watching television, burning the fireplace, laughing, talking, and we just kept drinking. And I remember at some point sitting curled up on the couch. My head is on his shoulder, his arm is on my shoulder, over my shoulder, and he's asking me these questions, and I'm just talking very calmly and telling him about our relationship and his lot, our first date and everything. And I don't know how long we spoke. I don't remember what I said. But I remember the next day, he said to me, I never, ever want to talk about him again. And I was like, what? Because I really didn't know what he was talking about. It was like I blacked out, I guess. I don't know. And he said, I've never heard a woman speak in such respectful and loving tones about a man that she wasn't with, that she had a kid for, ever. He says, and I don't ever want to have this conversation again. And he was dead serious. I was like, what did I say? He says, I don't want to talk about it. And that was it. And we never spoke about it. I left it alone. And tonight, after all that I have been dealing with now with him, after all these years, trying to understand what the hell, what is going on, and what did I ever do or say? Couldn't possibly be this, acting this psychotic over a disagreement on whether or not you should get ice cream. That's the only thing I know that we had a fight about, really. It was about ice cream for his granddaughter. I'm telling you, I don't even know if it was a fight. And I don't even know if he understood that as soon as I hung up from the phone, I texted him, I apologize. None of my business. Stay in my lane. I promise you, I can show it to you on my phone. I don't know. But tonight, Spirit told me that he's still mad. He's been holding that grudge. The justice that he was trying to get was for himself. Because he was jealous. Because he had fucked up and he figured that out. And by the time he figured it out, it was not only too late, but I was in love. And that's why he got stuck. That's where he got stuck. It's sad. Because all he had to do was, we could talk about it. Because guess what? I got stuck back before then. But I had to unstick myself. He had a good life. He unstuck himself. What was I supposed to do? Sit somewhere in a corner and not have a life? And so now he's getting his chance to, yes, put me in a position where I have no life. With no doubt whatsoever that I will ever get back with the rival. Talk about pissing on a hydrant, dude. For real? Wow. People are really weird, you know? The things that they let bother them. Because you can live with somebody and have someone calling you everything but a child of God on a regular basis. Okay? Disrupt your life. Lie on you. Lie on your dick. Lie on everything. But you mad at me. Oh, amazing. And you're mad at me and we didn't even have an argument about it. You asked me questions and I answered you honestly. And because you never had anybody speak like that about you, you mad? Well, maybe you haven't given anybody any reason to speak like that about you, or the people who you have given reason or who have felt generous enough to feel that way about you, you turn them off. You self-sabotage them. You put a price tag on your love that nobody can pay except for with their lives, giving up their control of themselves because you think that that's loving. So you want to control not only how you leave a relationship, but how the person handles life after you dump them. That's got to be on the list of narcissism traits. What the hell is that? But I digress. It's not narcissism. I was so fortunate to run across a definition of a Heyoka empath. And as I started to read about it, I realized that this is kind of like an Alegba spirit, like someone who is there to, as a catalyst, as we say in Twin Flame world, right? This person is a catalyst, a jokester at the same time. Someone who's an alcoholic, usually. But they take you to the dark side and make you look at it over and over. And they never take responsibility for it. Some of them do it consciously. Yeah, they know that that's their mission in life. There's some of them that do. I think they said 40% of the Heyoka know who they are, and they know what their job is, and they do it very well. And they are also here to be taught something. And sometimes they get taught by an entity that's called a Wakinyan spirit, I believe it is, Wakinyan, who is a thunder spirit. And in Yoruba, thunder spirit would be like Oya and Oba. And Oba and Oya, Yanza, yeah, they I vibe with them a lot. Always have. So maybe that's part of my test. My ascension is to have this Heyoka spirit try to tempt me and shake me, but also to help me to grow, to address those things that I need to address about myself. And also to strengthen my spiritual discernment, my gifts. It's not an easy job for either. And I was saying in one of the groups that I belong to that maybe this is that push and pull, that runner and chaser is that Heyoka spirit to Heyoka empaths in relationship to each other. And that is the tower, it seems. But it's really interesting, and it's a beautiful spirit called a clown spirit is a Heyoka. It's a joker, it's a jester, but it's there to teach you a lesson. And as I was doing research on it, they come from Native American tribes, but it is a tradition, the same type of energy across the globe, in Aborigine tribes and things like that. But the Native Americans are the ones who have given it this name and have held on to their traditions, thank God. And so I know that I come by that, legit, either by blood or by tradition. But I know that is what I was told about my grandfather, not a grandmother, but my grandfather's father was Native American. And I could tell that when I look at my father and his sisters. And all of them that I've ever met and seen. But, it's not like the tradition is being passed down through generations of slaves and black folk, right? So anyway, but it makes sense. It does. It makes sense. Now, there's the challenge that now you know something. What do you do with that knowledge? So I decided that I was going to record it. Just to have it, add it to the ongoing collection of breadcrumbs about this journey, and decide whether or not I'm going to upload it later. And I also had something that I came across that I'd written. It was a channeled message from my uncle. I have to decide whether or not I want to do the same thing. It's deep. It's deep. It's for men, though. I mean, we all should listen and watch it, but it is geared towards men, and it's not about the twin flame journey per se. It's about self-determination, allowing you to write your own story, allowing you to take the reins, that you can make a change. You just have to wake up and look at yourself and see, what is it that I need to do to make it right with my spirit? What is my destiny? And there are people who know what their destiny is, and they choose that's not what it is that they want to do. They want to put it off for another day. Or they really, really are dark spirits and they enjoy living on the dark side. And that's okay. That's part of it. That's part of choice. But there's the, human side of me that's like, really, really, really. Oh my God. But, this is laughable. It really is. And it's good because I knew at some point, when I was able to get to the point where I can really laugh at this painful thing. And that's it. All right. I was never able to laugh at any part of that before. I never talked about it. I did what he isn't doing, not being respectful enough not to say anything. At least not to say anything bad. I never talked to anybody about what he did. Not even Tom ever asked me. My son's father never knew none of this, ever. But he just, I don't know, he probably think I just popped up one day in the middle of of Hempstead Turnpike, like, he wasn't asking no questions either. I didn't have to ask questions about him. His shit was all over the streets. What? Anyway, let me go. Oh my God. Oh, a fucking comedy act. My life. Anyway, folks, I don't know if this is going to be folks, but this is going to be at least part of this library. So, I'll talk to everybody soon. Thank you so much. Good night.